How many times have you knelt, with a tight heart, tears in your eyes, and asked Santa Rita to intercede for you? Perhaps it was for a son who walked away, a disease that insists on staying, or that answer that never arrives. And the most painful is when we do everything with faith, do novena, light candle, trust, but instead of improved, more proof, more silence, more struggle. Didn't God hear? Did Santa Rita move away? No. But maybe, and I say that with a lot of respect for your pain, maybe you're praying at the wrong time. Few people talk about it, but there are times of the day when the spirit world is in conflict. Prayer, when done at this moment, instead of attracting light, can open doors to the opposite of grace. This has nothing to do with faith. You have faith. This has to do with spiritual often, with divine tune. And that is why today I will reveal you what no one told you. The time you should never pray, and the right moment, the one in which the sky is most open, where Saint Rita listens to the whisper of her heart. If you have prayed a lot and still expect a miracle, this video is for you. Stay with me to the end, because today you will understand why your prayer may not be being answered and how to turn it to your advantage. Before continuing, if this message has already touched your heart in some way, subscribe here to the channel, because every day I bring words that strengthen your faith and bring you closer to the grace you expect so much. And tell me here in the comments, what is the miracle you are expecting from Santa Rita? I read everything with love, and if you can, I will pray with you too. You may be wondering, where is my blessing? Why do God and saints look deaf to my pain? And if I told you that your faith can be unshakable, your devotion immense, and yet you may be unknowingly blocking the grace you expect so much? There is a deep spiritual truth that few people know, a truth that can completely transform their way of connecting with the divine. The truth is that you may be asking with all the faith of your heart, but still being away from the blessing that it so much yearns. And the reason can be simpler and at the same time more complex than you think. You may be praying at the wrong time. Yes, my dear, there is a wrong hour to pray. And I'm not talking about a time on your wall's clock, but a spiritual time, a time when heaven and earth seem not to be in tune. There are times when the spirit world is in a profound conflict, in a stirring that we, in our smallness, cannot see. And praying at these times can be like trying to plant a delicate seed on the hot and cracked asphalt. The seed is good, the intention is pure, but the soil is hostile, unable to make it germinate. If you have prayed a lot, if you have made novenas, lit candles, if you have cried at the feet of Santa Rita asking for a cause that seems impossible to you, and yet you only see silence as an answer, perhaps the problem is not in your faith. Maybe it's not in your devotion. Perhaps it is the moment you raise your prayer. And today, with the intercession of our beloved saint of the impossible causes, let's dive into this mystery and understand how to align our hearts, our soul, and our voice with the time of God, the time of grace. To understand this, we must first let go of our clock. God's time is not counted in hours, minutes, and seconds. Spiritual time is measured in vibrations, in frequencies, in soul states. Think of the day and night. They are not just cycles of light and darkness, they are completely different energy states. Dawn brings with it a renewal energy, hope, a new beginning. The noon has the strength of the sun, the pin, an energy of power and manifestation. Enkugest invites us to gratitude and reflection. And at night, the night keeps your own secrets, especially dawn. The dawn, that period between midnight and the sun's dawn, is a time of deep silence in the physical world, but of intense activity in the spirit world. It is a portal, and like every portal, it can open into light or to darkness. Hours like 3 a.m, for example, are known in many spiritual traditions as a moment of greater susceptibility to negative spiritual interference, to dense energies. It is a time when the veil between the worlds is thinner, and not always what crosses this veil comes to bless us. But spiritual time is not just about the clock time. It is closely linked to our own inner state. Think of the moments of low emotional vibration that we all face. When you are taken by anger, overwhelming anxiety, the despair that blinds the soul, Praying in this state is like trying to talk to God, shouting from inside a mud. His voice is muffled, distorted, contaminated by the energy of his pain. There is an abyssal difference between prayer made with despair and prayer made with faith and confidence. The prayer of despair says, "I can't take it anymore. I'm lost. That's the end." The prayer of faith, even in pain, says, "My God, it hurts a lot, but I trust you. Saint Rita, the pain is immense, but I know that you are with me and that this cause is not impossible for the power of God." Do you notice the difference? The first states the defeat. The second, even in the midst of battle, states confidence in the victory that will come. And this vibration, this frequency of confidence, is what opens the heavens. Let's deepen a little more about this dangerous time issue. Many spiritual and religious beliefs, including within our tradition, point to the 3 in the morning time as the contrary time to divine mercy. It is a symbolic explanation, but of immense power. If the 3 in the afternoon are known as the time of mercy, the sublime moment in which our Lord Jesus Christ surrendered his Spirit to the Father for the sake of us, sealing our salvation, the 3 in the morning would be energetically his opposite. It is like the time when the forces that oppose the divine light were in their height of activity. It is a historically associated time in various cultures, with magic rituals, negative invocations, spiritual distortions. Even though you don't know this, even if your intention is the purest, pouring your tears and requests at this time of spiritual opposition, you may unintentionally be delivering your pleas into an unfavorable battlefield. It's like trying to talk to a dear friend in the middle of a devastating hurricane. You can scream, you can use the full strength of your lungs, but your message is not enough. It gets lost in chaos, in the deafening noise of the wind. Its prayer, which should be a bridge of light, becomes an echo lost in the storm. The invisible consequences of praying in the wrong time are deep and may be undermining your spiritual strength without you realizing it. At dawn, our darkest emotions tend to be naturally amplified. The silence of the house, the darkness outside, all contributes to fear, loneliness, and despair seem invincible giants. When you pray in this state, these emotions become an intrinsic part of your prayer. You are not just asking for help. You are sending to the spiritual universe a frequency of fear, loneliness, and despair. And that generates a terrible spiritual contradiction. You ask for a cure, but your energy screams disease. You ask for prosperity, but your soul vibrates in scarcity. You ask for peace, but your heart is at war. The great danger here is to confuse prayer with lamentation, negative outburst, or desperate supplication that in the end does not carry true faith. It is prayer that, instead of raising the soul, sinks it even more in the swamp of anguish. Many people, with the best of intentions, pray by saying, "Santa Rita, help me. I can't take it anymore. I'm on my limit." Without realizing it, they are claiming to the spirituality that they are defeated, that have come to the end of the line and are not ready to receive grace. For grace, my sister, requires an inner space of strength and hope to manifest itself. It's like trying to fill a glass that is already overflowing with bitterness. First, it is necessary to empty it so that the pure water of the blessing can fill it. So what is the right time to cry to Santa Rita, to give it our causes with faith, strength, and spiritual alignment? The wisdom of faith offers us spiritually powerful times. At dawn, between 5 and 6 in the morning, when the light begins to overcome the darkness, it is a very potent moment. He carries the symbol of the Renaissance, the victory of light, of the sacred silence that allows our voice to be heard clearly in heaven. It is the time to offer God and Saint Rita the first intentions of her day, consecrating her journey to hope. Another moment of immense strength is at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the time of mercy. Stop for a moment at this time, wherever you are, and raise a prayer, even silent, is to connect directly to the source of Christ's sacrificial love, the force that makes all things possible. And at night, around 9 o'clock, we have a Marian time, a serene, welcoming energy, Mother. It is the ideal time to thank the day, calm your heart, and deliver your concerns to the hands of Our Lady and your faithful servant, Santa Rita, asking for a quiet sleep and the certainty that the solution to your problems is already being woven in the divine plane. These moments are like spiritually open portals, direct windows that connect our hearts to the heart of God. But the most valuable tip is to learn to feel your own emotional energy. Pray when your heart is more confident than distressed. Pray when your order is a delivery act, not rebellion. Pray when, despite the pain, you can whisper, "Your will be done." This is the perfect time. But what if the anguish comes in the middle of the night? What if despair knocks on your door at 3 in the morning? Should we shut up? No, my beloved. We must learn to turn any moment into a bridge of light. If you wake up distressed before you begin to pray, prepare the ground of your soul. Sit in bed, take a deep breath 3 times, slowly and deeply. Feel the air entering and purifying your lungs and your spirit. If you can, light a candle, even a small white candle, or lilac, the color associated with Santa Rita and spiritual transmutation. The candle flame is a point of light that dissipates darkness, a focus on your faith. And most importantly, before you ask, thank you. Thank you for your life, your breathing air, for the bed that welcomes you, for any small blessing you can find. Gratitude changes its vibrational frequency instantly. She raises her soul from the swamp, from despair to the garden of hope. And then, change the tone of your prayer. Instead of begging like, "Who has already lost?" delivered with the confidence of those who have already won. Remember the sublime example of faith of Santa Rita de Cassia. She who had pain that we can barely imagine did not ask to be removed from the cross from her sufferings. She asked God to strength to stand her with love and faith. And it was in this surrender, in this unshakable confidence, that God has worked in his life extraordinary miracles. From the pacification of his family to the stigma of the rose on his forehead. Force is not in demanding that God change our reality, but to ask him to change us so that we can flourish in any reality. It's not just what you ask, my sister. It's as you ask. It is the energy you deposit in each word. Now, I want to invite her to say a prayer with me. A prayer to Santa Rita, but not any prayer. A prayer in the model of invocation with the correct faith. A prayer that builds a bridge of light and aligns your heart with God's time. Wherever you are, look for a comfortable position. If you can, close your eyes to better connect with your inside. Take a deep breath once more, and repeat with me, with an open heart, with the soul delivered. Start here the prayer with serene and paused voice. O beloved Santa Rita, a saint of the impossible causes, lawyer in times of despair. Today I have not just asked, I come first to surrender. I give you, and to the Sacred Heart of Jesus, my pain, my anxiety. So much I wanted to see open. I ask forgiveness for my lack of confidence. Forgiveness at the times my prayer was more regret than faith. Today, I choose to trust. I choose to believe that God's time is perfect and that his will to me is always of love and good. In front of you, Santa Rita, I put my cause. Take a break so that the person can mentalize your order. You know the weight I carry in my heart. You see the tears that I pour in silence. You know how important this grace is to me. But today, I don't demand it. I surrender it. I trust it. With the faith that moved your life, I ask, strengthen my soul so that I can endure the weight. It illuminates my mind so that I understand God's designs. Calm my heart so that he can rest in the certainty that the best is already being prepared for me. I do not ask you to have me from my cross, but you help me, as you were helped, to carry it with love until it turns into roses of blessings and miracles. I commit, from today, to watch my thoughts and words, so that my prayer is always a trusted corner and not a scream of despair. I trust your powerful intercession. I trust in God's love. I already thank the grace that, at the right time, I know I will receive. Amen. Take a deep breath once more. Feel the peace that this delivery provides. Imagine now, with all the strength of your imagination, your grace is already being met. Feel joy, gratitude, relief. Keep this sensation in your heart. She is your lighthouse. My sister, always remember this truth. Santa Rita always listens. God always listens. But we need to learn to talk to heaven at the right frequency, in tune with faith, surrender, and trust. Prayer is not to force God's hand. It is to hold on God's hand and walk with Him in His time, in the direction He points out, with the certainty that the final destiny is always victory. If this message touched your heart and brought light to your walk of faith, I ask, as an act of love and evangelization, that you subscribe to this channel. In doing so, you not only help us to continue this work, but also tells heaven, I want more from this connection. I am open to receive more light teachings. It is an act of faith that opens the doors to new blessings in your life. And now, I want to make a special request. Use the comment space below as a sacred altar. Write your request there, your cause, the one you just delivered into the hands of Santa Rita, not for me, but as a prophetic act, a record of your faith. When writing, you materialize your trust, and I ask each one who reads the comments, pray for the sister who wrote before. Let's create a huge current of prayer and intercession, united by faith in Santa Rita. Share this video with someone you know you are suffering, who is praying without seeing answers. You may be the instrument that God will use to bring hope and clarity to a distressed heart. May the peace of Christ and the blessing of Santa Rita de Cassia be with you today and always.